The Blackwood family, James, Lisa, their teenage daughter Emily, and their young son Noah, arrived at Blackwood Manor late in the evening. The towering Victorian house stood in eerie silence, surrounded by dead trees that seemed to whisper in the wind. James, eager to make this their dream home, unlocked the door and stepped inside. The air was heavy, stale, as if time had stopped. Lisa shuddered, but forced a smile. "Just needs some cleaning," James reassured her. But deep inside, they all felt it. Something was off. That night, as Emily lay in bed texting her friends, a soft scratching noise came from her closet. She froze. "Dad?" she whispered. No answer. The sound grew louder, like nails dragging across wood. Heart pounding, she tiptoed forward and yanked the closet door open. Nothing. She sighed in relief until a whisper slithered from the darkness. "Emmy." Her breath caught in her throat. The air turned icy. She slammed the door shut and dove under her blankets, squeezing her eyes shut. Downstairs, Lisa was washing dishes when the faucet sputtered. The water turned a deep, murky red. She gasped, stepping back. In the window's reflection behind her, a shadowy figure loomed in the hallway. Heart hammering, she spun around. Nothing. The moment she turned back, the water was clear again, as if nothing had happened. Meanwhile, Noah lay sleeping when his closet door creaked open. A grotesque figure, gaunt and twisted, crawled out. It loomed over his bed, whispering, "Noah." His eyes shot open, and he screamed as the figure lunged, only to vanish when Lisa and James rushed in. "It was right here," he sobbed, but there was nothing. The next morning, James researched the house's history. Blackwood Manor once belonged to Margaret Crowley, a woman accused of witchcraft in the 1800s. Before she was burned alive, she cursed the house, vowing never to leave. Lisa's face paled. "We have to get out," she whispered, but James hesitated. They had spent everything on this home. That night, Emily recorded a TikTok video. As she danced in front of her mirror, something felt wrong. Mid-spin, she realized her reflection had stopped moving. Her heart pounded. Then, slowly, it turned its head toward her, its lips curling into a wicked grin. "No," she whispered. The mirror shattered. She screamed as her parents ran in. But when they looked, the mirror was whole again. Determined to stop the horror, James searched the attic and found an ancient book detailing a banishment ritual. That night, the family gathered in the basement, candles flickering. Noah, the youngest, had to read the incantation. He held the paper in trembling hands and began. The walls groaned and the temperature dropped. Margaret Crowley emerged, her hollow eyes staring, her skeletal fingers reaching toward Noah. The house shook violently. "Keep reading," James yelled. Noah's voice grew louder. The spirit shrieked, writhing as an unseen force pulled it back. The walls cracked, the shadows twisted. With a final ear-piercing scream, she was gone. Silence. Then Noah collapsed. By sunrise, the Blackwoods packed their belongings and fled. As they drove away, Lisa glanced back. A shadow stood in the upstairs window, watching. Then a whisper drifted through the morning air. "You can't leave me.